Think you know JAWS? Think again. From malfunctioning mechanical sharks to improvised lines that became legendary, these 20 jaw-dropping facts will make you see the classic thriller in a whole new way. Dare to dive in? 1. The mechanical shark was a nightmare. The mechanical shark, famously nicknamed Bruce, was supposed to be the centerpiece of JAWS, but it barely worked. Constant malfunctions forced Spielberg to rethink his approach, often showing only parts of the shark or clever camera angles to create suspense. Surprisingly, this limitation made the film even scarier, as the unseen predator terrified audiences more than a fully visible one could. The crew struggled daily with repairs, and delays added tension, both on and off screen. Spielberg later admitted that the shark's mechanical failures became a creative advantage, teaching him that fear of the unknown is far more gripping than explicit visuals. Bruce became legendary despite, or because, of his flaws. 2. Spielberg was only 27. At just 27 years old, Steven Spielberg took on the massive challenge of directing JAWS, a high-stakes blockbuster that could have easily overwhelmed a more experienced director. Despite his young age, Spielberg's vision and instinct shaped the film's suspenseful style, particularly his decision to mostly hide the shark, forcing audiences to imagine the threat. Studio executives doubted his ability to manage the project, but his leadership and creativity turned those doubts into history. Spielberg's age didn't hinder him. It brought a fresh perspective, bold choices, and a sense of innovation that redefined suspense in cinema. JAWS became a cultural phenomenon, launching Spielberg's legendary career. 3. The iconic music was almost different. John Williams' minimalist Dun-Dun Shark theme is now one of the most iconic musical scores in film history, but it almost didn't happen. Spielberg initially considered a more traditional orchestral approach, but Williams proposed a simple two-note motif that gradually builds tension. This repetitive yet terrifying sound perfectly mirrors the shark's unseen menace, creating fear without showing the creature. The genius lies in its simplicity. Audiences associate the music with impending danger, making every scene more suspenseful. Williams' score transformed JAWS into a masterclass in cinematic tension, proving that sometimes the simplest musical choices can be the most powerful in shaping audience emotions and fear. 4. The film nearly bankrupted the studio. Filming JAWS went over budget due to constant mechanical shark failures, unpredictable ocean conditions, and extended shooting schedules. Universal Studios faced massive financial stress as the project dragged on, leaving executives worried about potential losses. Every day brought new challenges, from malfunctioning equipment to stormy seas, testing the crew's patience and problem-solving skills. Yet Spielberg's vision never wavered. He continued to innovate and adapt. Ultimately, the gamble paid off. JAWS became a blockbuster success, grossing over $470 million worldwide. The film's financial turnaround proved that taking bold creative risks, even under enormous pressure, could yield legendary results and reshape Hollywood's approach to summer blockbusters. 5. The book was shorter than expected. Peter Benchley's original novel JAWS was relatively short, yet the film expanded the story with new characters, dramatic sequences, and additional tension-building scenes. Spielberg and screenwriters added depth to relationships, explored the personalities of Brody, Quint, and Hooper, and amplified suspense to create a more cinematic experience. These creative additions transformed a simple tale of a shark into a suspense masterpiece. By expanding the book's content, the filmmakers gave audiences a richer, more immersive experience, demonstrating how adaptation can enhance storytelling while staying true to the original concept. 6. Real sharks were used for some shots. While the mechanical shark Bruce handled most scenes, the production occasionally used real sharks in controlled tanks or open water. These shots added authenticity, heightening the terror, and giving audiences glimpses of genuine predator behavior. Safety was a major concern, requiring careful planning and expert supervision. Real sharks brought unpredictability to filming, forcing actors to react spontaneously and adding raw intensity to their performances. Combining animatronics with actual sharks created a sense of realism that no single approach could achieve. Audiences might not have realized it, but the terrifying sequences blended artificial and real elements seamlessly, enhancing suspense while keeping the underwater threat genuinely frightening throughout the film. 8. Shooting in the ocean was a nightmare. Filming on the open sea created constant challenges for the cast and crew. Unpredictable weather, waves, and tides frequently interrupted shooting schedules, delaying scenes and damaging equipment. Actors had to perform in difficult conditions, often in freezing water or under scorching sun, while managing the limitations of mechanical sharks. These hardships forced Spielberg to adapt creatively, using angles, editing, and suspense to overcome the obstacles. The ocean setting, though, exhausting to work in, lent unmatched realism to the film. The combination of natural water movement, mechanical sharks, and actor performances produced tension that couldn't have been replicated on a studio set, making Jaws more thrilling and terrifying throughout the film. 9. The Orca was named after a real company. The shark hunting boat, the Orca, was named after a real-life whaling company operating off the East Coast. This small detail grounded the story in reality, giving audiences a sense that the events could plausibly occur in the real world. It also tied the film to historical maritime culture, subtly re-enriching the narrative with authenticity. The Orca's design, functionality, and name all contributed to a believable shark hunting expedition. By blending fiction with reality, the filmmakers enhanced immersion while making viewers feel like they were part of a dangerous journey. Such careful attention to detail strengthened Jaws as a cinematic experience that balanced suspense with realism. His character remains iconic, blending historical inspiration with cinematic genius.
11. The mechanical shark caused delays. Bruce, the mechanical shark, was notoriously unreliable. Saltwater corrosion and mechanical failures meant it often refused to operate, delaying filming for days or even weeks. Each malfunction forced the crew to improvise, leading Spielberg to rely heavily on suspense, shadows, and reactions instead of showing the shark fully. While frustrating at the time, these limitations unintentionally enhanced the film's tension, teaching audiences that what's unseen can be far scarier than what's shown. The constant struggle with the mechanical shark became part of the legend of Jaws, demonstrating how creativity can emerge from technical challenges. The delays tested patience, but ultimately helped craft a more thrilling, suspenseful film. 12. The cast learned real boating skills. Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss underwent intensive boating and nautical training to handle the Orca during filming. Learning how to navigate rough waters, operate the vessel, and respond to emergencies made their performances believable and grounded. These skills allowed actors to focus on character reactions while maintaining realism in tense shark encounters. Their authentic handling of the boat added credibility to every chase, struggle, and attack scene. The cast's dedication to mastering real boating techniques contributed to the immersive experience of the film, allowing audiences to feel the danger and excitement of hunting a giant predator at sea. 13. The editing created maximum suspense. Editor Verna Fields and Spielberg masterfully used timing and pacing to build tension in Jaws. Rather than showing the shark directly, they often cut to reactions, splashing water or shadows, allowing viewers' imaginations to fill in the terror. This technique maximized suspense and fear, teaching audiences that anticipation can be more frightening than explicit visuals. The precise rhythm of shots, sound effects, and music created an unforgettable viewing experience, proving editing is as crucial as acting or special effects. By controlling what viewers saw and when, Jaws set a new standard for suspense filmmaking, demonstrating the power of restraint in crafting cinematic terror. 14. The film inspired a wave of shark panic. After Jaws hit theaters, public fear of sharks soared. Beaches saw a noticeable drop in visitors as people became convinced that deadly attacks could happen anywhere. The film didn't just entertain, it shaped culture and perception, instilling a widespread sense of dread toward sharks. Though shark attacks are rare, the movie's realism and suspense convinced audiences otherwise. Jaws demonstrated the immense influence of cinema on society, showing that a well-crafted film could impact behavior and even tourism. This wave of fear, while unintentional, became part of the film's legacy, proving that movies can leave lasting impressions far beyond the screen. 15. The mechanical shark had multiple versions. To cope with frequent malfunctions, the production built 3 versions of Bruce, each designed for specific actions: submerging, breaching, or full body shots. Switching between models was complicated and time-consuming, requiring careful planning to achieve seamless continuity. Despite the chaos, these variations allowed filmmakers to capture a range of shark movements while maintaining believability. The mechanical shark's complexity forced creativity in shooting and editing, turning technical frustration into cinematic advantage. Audiences experienced a terrifyingly realistic predator, unaware of the engineering challenges behind the scenes. These multiple versions highlight the dedication and innovation that went into bringing one of cinema's most famous villains to life. 16. Peter Benchley regretted the fear of sharks. Peter Benchley, the author of Jaws, later admitted he regretted the widespread fear the film instilled toward sharks. The movie's terrifying portrayal led to increased shark hunting and negative perceptions of these animals. Benchley became a passionate shark conservation advocate, dedicating his life to educating the public about the importance of sharks in marine ecosystems. He emphasized that sharks are vital predators maintaining the balance of marine life and that attacks on humans are extremely rare. His efforts aimed to undo the unintended consequences of his story, highlighting how cinema can influence public behavior. Benchley's shift from author to advocate reflects a remarkable commitment to protecting the very creatures he once made famous in fear.